I really don't understand the fascination. 11 men running around kicking a lump of leather through 2 sticks. But, nevertheless, Telstar have gifted us with another grand sporting effort. Onside Soccer has all the usual features you'd expect in today's soccer spectacular. Gorgeous 3D players, a stack full of camera angles, and ream upon ream of statistics, leagues, and players' favourite colours. But at the end of the day, I'd rather talk about the people that make the game, responsible as they are for all the funny little compilations of 80s chart hits. You may be lost in a continual frenzy of scratching your head this new year, wondering what prime soccer sim to buy for that special summer. But if you're a big Duran Duran fan, as well as an Arsenal supporter, Onside Soccer could prove to be a match made in heaven.
Onside Soccer was touted around for ages before anybody came in to publish it. It was actually programmed by Elite Systems, who are very famous for things like World Cup Striker and all those fantastic games on the SNES, way back. Now what they tried to do here is an Actra Soccer. It's got huge 3D rendered graphics. It's actually got the right kits, like if you're in Newcastle, the stripes are bizarrely accurate. But the only problem with it is it plays like a donkey. Yeah, that's Tony Adams to you or me. It's absolutely dreadful. Unfortunately, they have missed the point. It's got all the camera angles and it looks nice, but it just doesn't play very well at all.
Well, I want to get one thing clear, is that I don't like football. And so a football game has to be pretty damn special to catch my eye, and this wasn't at all. Basically, it looks fine, it plays fine, but there's nothing to really invigorate you. All the statistics are there, but I mean, I didn't really think it was anything special. I mean, it needs to have something great. It needs great playability, in other words, to grab my attention, and this just wasn't it, sorry.
Football needs to flow. It really needs to flow for a football game to work. It has to be speedy and your passing has to be accurate, and this isn't, so it's a big thumbs down.
That's a wasted opportunity. With those people who brought you the original FIFA Soccer now well preserved in a museum for posterity, Electronic Arts ushers in an early new year with their latest dribbling wonder. The graphics have been extensively reworked with animation that's so realistic that even the goalposts look as if they've been motion captured. Another new inclusion is the indoor feature, where opposing teams can do battle happily shielded from passing snowstorms. The roster of teams is suitably enormous, encompassing both the giants of the international scene to the lowliest of English league chances. Once you've selected your players and secured them in the virtual arena of your choice, you can view the action from any one of a generous helping of camera angles, from a view of the whole stadium to one hovering gently over the ball itself. There are several modes of play, from major championships to friendly matches, and there's even a built-in tutorial for those own goal merchants with more left feet than stents.
When the original FIFA arrived on the Mega Drive, it turned an awful lot of heads. It was certainly the best football game up to this point. And I actually don't think that the later versions have been up to that mark at all. I mean, FIFA 96 was good, but it did lack a certain something. And I actually think this version isn't as good as FIFA 96. I mean, the graphics look wonderful. It's exactly like real football almost. Wonderful, wonderful motion capturing, wonderful texturing, and wonderful animation. But there's just something missing. I can't quite put my finger on it. The game doesn't flow quite as well. It's not as playable. And the whole process starts and stops too often to be a really, really good game of football. Not that I like football games, obviously. But no, not as good as FIFA 96.
I never thought he'd shut up. I mean, please. FIFA 96, yeah, it had a few flaws, but FIFA 97 is fantastic. Now, I deal a lot with football games as one of the presenters on Virtual World of Sport, and this is the best. It is the best. It is certainly the most realistic, because it just moves perfectly. They got David Ginola to actually motion capture the players, and okay, they have slowed down the gameplay, but that allows you to do better tactics. One of the biggest criticisms I've ever had of any of the FIFA games was it was all kick and rush. You just kept tapping the shoot button over and over again, you'd score, and you would win that way. This one, it isn't. You have to build it up. You have to use wings, you have to use the sort of like heading and the bicycle kick, and you have to use them properly, just like in real football. And it's even got the indoor option, and Richard is just mad.
Well, for football train spotters like Rick here, realism's all very well and good, but for video games, I think fun is everything. So it's an average game for me, sorry.
Oh, man, it's got to be a thumbs up, surely.
Interception by Howie. Directed by Howie. The ball's in the back of the net. The poor Saturn has been rather starved of fabulous football creations of late, and so Sega themselves have taken matters into their own enormous hands and crafted a lovely worldwide Soccer 97. Picking up football Italia's Gary Bloom along the way, an army of international teams has gathered at Sega's Secondo Stadium for a veritable orgy of simulated football. Once one of the 6 different modes of play has been selected, armchair managers can get down to the difficult task of sculpting their teams. Players' names can be quickly changed so that members of your own immediate
Saturn, and that was quite dreadful. This isn't. This is absolutely fantastic. In fact, the Saturn is the last place I had expected to find the best ever football game, and this is it. It's got everything. I mean, what it mainly has is pure, good, old-fashioned gameplay. You can do anything. Your characters can bicycle, kick, they can flick it in the air, they can flick the ball over their head, they can head it in, they can do everything on earth apart from, say, kick a supporter in the chest and get away with it in court. Richard?
Well, in these final fleeting seconds of the reviews, I'm actually going to reconcile myself to Rick by completely agreeing with him. I said earlier I didn't really like football games, but I love this one. I'd be quite interested to know if Rick values gameplay so much. Why is the bang on about the quality of wins in the FIFA 97 review? But this is great. This is so much fun to play. You almost forget you're playing football, in fact. You can play any team you like, and the action is very fast and furious. So realism, again, is all very well, but at the end it's gameplay that counts. So a huge thumbs up from me.
I'm just waiting to see the game that has got gameplay and realism.